Yes, I think so. All right.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placement.
You're welcome once again to Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Cho. Salifu Usman is also in the studio with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Ashu.
On today's edition of the program, we'll begin straight from the camp of the Super Falcons as they prepare for the Paris 2024 Olympics. As it stands, Super Falcons have kick-started preparations for their first appearance at the Women's Olympic Football Tournament in 16 years, rather, as their camp in the city of Sevilla has come alive with most of the invited players already in camp. As at this morning, there were already reports that there were 12 players in camp, while team administrator Mary Obodu told the NFF.com that 2 more players were being expected at the team camp by close of today. Of course, so far we have the likes of team captain Rashidat Ajibade, first choice goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, who already were in camp ahead of other team players. Of course, the likes of Tochukwu Oluehi, defenders Chidima Okeke, Nicole Payne, Christy Uchebe, Tony Payne, Deborah Biodun, and Jennifer Chagini. Also, Esther Okoronko, alternate players including Morufa Demola and Gift Monday are also in camp. The likes of defenders Osinachi Ohale and Michelle Alozie were being expected at the team's hotel by Monday afternoon. Of course, almost a full house, but the likes of Asisat, Oshuala, and some others yet to hit camp. But I understand Asisat even yesterday had a send-off done by her new club in America base, so we had expected that she will be in camp already by maybe this morning.
Yeah, well, this and let's just say kudos to the players for showing up early in the camp out of 18. Out of 18 squad, and you have 14 players already in the camp. I think that is almost 80% turn up, or if not. So, good sign, and at the same time, looking at the current situation and look at the timing, no player have, and most of the players have no any excuse not to even report to camp on time because we are on off-season period. So you don't need to have a club engagement or this and that not to show up in the camp. But vis-a-vis, you still have time for them. At least 16, 14 players, and 2 more is being expected. And probably before tomorrow, probably they will have a full squad to report into the camp. It's not left for the coach to make use of what he have, and probably they did the needful and tinker with his plan, and to ensure that they give Nigeria a deserved victory or deserve to. Yes, just like you read, just like saying in your intro, this is the first appearance in 16 years in Olympic. The last time the Super Falcons played the Olympic was in Beijing, China 2008, and ever since then we missed the London 2012, we missed the Rio 2016, and as well as the Tokyo 2020, and we are back in the squad. And even in the previous appearance, we hardly make beyond the group stage, and I think the Super Falcons should be able to ensure that they give us more appreciable representation this time, where in as much as it's to be too much to demand on them to make the podium finish, but at least making to the podium is not it's not too much. But if I thought they couldn't make to the podium, I think they should reach a appreciable level that all Nigerians will appreciate that yes, they give Nigeria a good representation.
I completely agree with you. As you know, after being away from the Olympics for this long number of time, it will be only good that at least the Super Falcons show that they are one of the biggest names when it comes to African football, at least, and put up a good showing at the Olympics. Now let's move away from that, but still on the Olympics this time. The likes of Tobia Muson, Esebrume, top team Nigeria's 35 athletes. The list does for track and event. Of course, the likes of Chukwuebuka and Nekwechi also is in that list. Yes, a whole lot of them. When it comes to the Olympics, most times we always look up to the track and field athletics, because one way or the other, in every most times in the Olympic, Nigeria has a way of making a podium finish in one of these is them, be it athletics, be it one of the tracks. Somehow we always put up a decent showing one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if you look at the medal we have also won in the Olympic, apart from the gold medal in football and the silver medal, gold medal in football, silver medal in football, and bronze medal in football, as well as the bronze medal in taekwondo and the silver medal in wrestling. In wrestling, every other medals we have won all in athletic. You have to go 2 gold medal in athletic, in the long jump in the case of Shoma Joma, then 4x4 relay in the case of 2002 gold medal, which first one is silver, but after the doping scandal again, one of the US team, so which were upgraded to the gold medal. So apart from that, the 2 gold medal from athletic, even some of the silver medal from athletic, and so most of the medal we have said. So athletic has always been our strength. Going for any major competitions, and Olympic cannot be exception. And if you're looking at the current situation and based on our current performance and current field and individual athlete that we have, our expectations are very high. That if at all we are going to have any gold medal, we are going to have a gold medal. We have a possibility that we should make a podium finish in athletics this time around. We have the like of Toby Amucha as a sure prospect, a sure medal prospect for us. We also have a Sigrumi as a sure medal prospect. Even the Nekweshe you mentioned in the gambling, is also a sure medal prospect. Even a Philly, the like of a Philly, God bless, and several others. They are on the track of it. They are all medal prospects. They are good in their track. So, and at the same time, even our 4x4 relay women is also a medal prospect for us if everything good according to our plan, and if everything good according to our plan. And sometimes you may have a perfect plan. You also need God favor to be on your side. There are some things fans and especially need to know that yes, in as much as you hear your athlete is a medal prospect based on our current form, based on what he has done in the past and what is in and compared to those, but you also need that God favor to be on our side, because sometimes you may be in a good mood, but what happened at that very moment determine either the athlete is going to make the podium or is not going to make the podium, is not going to make the podium. So we hope that all our athletes stay fit and be in a good mood when it is time for them to run.
All right, I mean, well said, Saliku. When it comes to athletics, like you rightly said, sometimes you might be in top form, but on that day of the event, sometimes something goes wrong and you might not make it. I understand Wale is with us. I don't know if Wale has joined us. Yes, Wale, good to see you once again. Thanks for joining us, Wale.
Thank you so much for having me, Alpha. It's good to be back. How are you guys doing, and how's everyone in the studio?
Audio. Okay, well, we'll try to get the audio sorted out. Let's move on from that. Of course, talking about Ahmed Musa this time around, he is debunking rumors that he has retired from the Super Eagles, but according to him, that he just only took a break from the team so far to, take care of other teams. He said, "I only took a little break from the national team, but I didn't exit the team." He said, putting rest to speculation about his future with the Super Eagles. Musa has also been without a club since his contract with Turkish side Sivasspor was terminated in February earlier this year. Well, for Musa, some are saying, I mean, it's time for you to call it a day with the Super Eagles.
Well, do I say he's still the young man at 35.
Sure.
So he's still a young man. The one has also said that it's not yet done with the Super Eagles yet, and just like we also had Cristiano Ronaldo at 39, he's also insisted that he can still play on. But the case of Ronaldo and Musa is a different ball game. Ronaldo is still very active with the national team. We saw him what he did at the Euro. Even he only scored goal, he was active in all the matches. But Musa, yes, Musa is always a regular show up in any of the Super Eagle invitation. They always accorded him that due respect to be part of the team. Apart from the last two matches he was at the AFCON, but he never even wear a jersey to show up in any match. But I don't know, when you say you are not done yet, can you just be part of the team to make up the number, or just to be part of the team to follow the team as a fan, or be part of the team as a coaching crew, or be part of the as one of the coaching player coach? Because the last time Musa played for Nigeria in actively involved in the Super Eagles match was 2001.
2021.
Sorry, 2021. That's almost 3 years now in the World Cup qualifier to Qatar 2022 against the Cape Verde. But ever since then, he has always been part of the team. And the last match he's played for the Super Eagles was a friendly match against Guinea in the build up to the AFCON qualifier, just for 7 minutes to show up. He was at the AFCON. He never played any and he has always been running in the qualifier without play. But some people have also said that yes, he may have a crucial role to play in the dressing room, which we don't play it. But at least people should learn to give it.
Sometimes exactly learn to
give way, yes, when the ovation is very loud, not when people started forcing you to leave the stage. But to me, I feel Musa has played his due. Apart from Bisset Nyamat and Joseph Yubo, who have make up to the 100 cap for Nigeria, he's one of the longest. He has the highest camp for national team. He's the highest. He has a cap owner for the national team at the moment. So for that, you have played your due and you have done much honor. So, and if you feel, I think you feel that the stage is now right for Musa to just give you way for the young one. He can, but NFF can also accommodate if you feel he's still available because he's currently clubless. You don't have a club, you don't have any engagement. NFF can co-opt him as one of the player coach, be part of the coaching crew, and really can offer his technical know-how or technical advice to the team.
All right, let's move on from that now. I don't know if Wale is with us at this point. Yeah, Wale, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Alpha, can you hear me? Hello, Alpha, can you hear me?
Okay, once we get the audio sorted out.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Speak to.
I can hear you.
Okay, all right, Wale, thanks for joining us. All right, before that audio came, we were just talking about Ahmed Musa, who, according to him, has not quit the Super Eagles, but he took a break. But just like Salifu rightly said there, sometimes it's better to know that you have paid your dues already, and it's time for you to call it a day with the Super Eagles and give the younger ones a chance.
Of course, no doubt about it. We know that players want to when the innovation are high, no doubt about it. But when you look at Ahmed Musa, his contribution to the national team cannot be overemphasized. And when you look at it recent here, he has been one of our best players when it comes to the World Cup. The last 2 World Cup, Musa was our best player. And also when you look at his influence into the team, he's been called the governor of the team. He can actually get to bring players together. And if you take away Musa from the team at this point, you could agree with me that we don't really have a leader who can actually bring all the players together. Trust Aker, no doubt about it, is there. He's one of the captain. Kenneth Emira, of course, is there. He's also one of the captain. But Ahmed Musa, all experience, has won the AFCON with the national team, with Stephen Keshi. He has much experience to the team. And if you agree with me, not all the 23 players coach will call up, not all those players that they will definitely get to play, even when they go to competition and even when they play qualifying game. So I still feel that we still need, Musa, in the national team. Of course, Musa is not up to 33 at this point. He should be around 32, 31. So he still have, playing time ahead of him. Of course, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, we know what kind of effort they put into when they get to play for the national team. Of course, so when you look at Musa as well, his passion, he wants to give all his best to the national team. So I still feel we still need him in the national team for a very long time until we are able to get another replacement as a leader who can actually lead the team and which all the players can actually get to agree with. We agree with in that particular team. Apart from Musa and Kenneth Omura, who has actually won the Nations Cup, we don't really have any player who has won the Nations Cup in that particular team. And we'll be looking forward to have a player who can able to guide the team and who can able to lead the team. You will agree with me that the best players in the team, nothing like likes of Victor Osimhen, the likes of Ademola Lookman, all of them still regard him as the leader of the team. So I feel at this point in time, we still need the leader of the team. Not this crucial time, rather we are actually struggling to qualify for the World Cup. So we still need a player who can able to wind the boys up and who can able for the boys to give in their best. And I'm still hoping that we can also still qualify for the World Cup. And also, just talking about the Olympics, Toby Amuson and also Ese Brumer will be leading the team, no doubt about it. The last Nations Cup, at the last Olympic Games, we won just two, medals in that particular one, the silver and the bronze. This particular one, also, we all know the kind of challenges we faced during that period. Some of our athletes who are medal hopeful were not allowed to participate in that no particular competition due to out of competition test. I hope that the AFN and also the Nigerian Olympic Committee have been able to put that aside and they'll be able to ensure that the athletes we are taking to the Olympics, we don't want to hear any stories, concerning, their eligibility when it comes to, participating in the games. Of course, at this point in time, not when we are all doing well in terms of our athletics team, we saw the exploit during the African, Champions League Athletic Championship. They did well. We're strongly relying on Amundsen, who has been doing well, and also Ese Brume, for them to go in each further and for them to win golds for Nigeria. Of course, we have so much belief and so much faith in the team at this particular point for them to go all the way with the support of the sport ministry and all the Nigerians. Also, we are looking forward to them to participate in France. Hopefully, I should be in France at some point to to cover the games at some point. Hopefully, then we're just wishing the team all the best. The level of preparation should be top notch. Money should be released to the players and also to the athletes. We don't want to hear any complaint about our athlete not being paid and as well due and not well being taken care of. All the kids should arrive at the same time. Everybody should be kitted and everybody should just put up their performance and hopefully we should get to win gold medal in this particular Olympics. I see Nigeria winning a good medal if we do everything in our form of preparation. If we do everything well, and then I see the athletes, delivering the good medals for Nigeria, most especially in the, athletics and wrestling. I see us doing well in those particular sport, Alpha.
So let's go to some other news now. I'm talking about Euro 2024, where thousands of German fans have signed a petition asking a replay of the match between Germany versus Spain, which Spain won 2-1 in that one. Of course, in the course of that game, Jamal Musiala's shot appeared to have touched the arm of Cucurella in the 18 box, which lots of spectators had hoped would be a penalty, but after a VAR review and referee, who thought otherwise, and the Germans actually thought that they were robbed of that one, and now they are signing a petition to replay a match. This reminded me of the Arsenal situation against Newcastle. One thing I know is once a game is completed, I've never heard of a replay before in the game of football. So if UEFA assists this request, this should be a new one.
A new dimension to the game. So sometimes fans can go extra mile. And in our own local parliament, there was what normally say that medicine after death. It is off. You are the host and you still feel pain that you are out of the competition, so you need to play the game. But for the fact that the referee look at the game and the video, a VR assistant calling for a review, and the review and analyze the game, and the game went on and went to conclusion, and you are still lamenting on the situation that we are supposed to have moved. I think my advice to the German fans that they should just move and forget and plan for the Europe 2028.
Well, yeah, while I quite agree with you, I mean, Wale, if you look at that game critically, even from the images we have on our screen, that looked clearly like it was a handball. You know, this is not even a case of where you say ball to hand or anything like that, because I mean the standard rule is in football, once you're in that box, a defender, you have to really be careful with your hands, not hands flying all over the place. And for me, well, I think otherwise. Well, like we say, referee has the final say, but I mean, what's your take on this, Wally?
Of course, if you look at that particular image very well, Cucurella's hand was in a natural position. It was the force of the ball that actually pushed his hand backward. So it's not as if he did extend his hand. If he didn't extend his hand in that particular situation, then that should have been a penalty kick in favor of Germany. But that particular situation, I saw the replay all over again. It was the force of the ball that actually pushed Cucurella's hand backward. So I feel it was painful, no doubt about it. Painful to the German fans because as the host, they were looking forward, to get to the finals and eventually get to win it. They are the first, country to host the Euros and to be knocked out in the quarterfinal stage of the competition. So it's very painful. But we want to actually give the Spanish fans, the Spanish team their flowers at this particular point because they have been, are the most outstanding team in the competition so far. They have scored 10 goals, in the competition, in all games. And of course, when you look at other teams as well, the likes of France have just scored, just one goal from the penalty kick. And 2 home goals has actually led them to the to the semi-final stage. So the Spanish team has been very, very impressive, during this particular competition. And most people, for me, I would say they are the favorite, to win, the Euro, title. If they don't get to win, then luck is not actually being on their side because they've been, the best team on paper when you look at the many, 4 teams, going for the title alpha.
Straight into the last 4 preview, of course, like rightly said, Spain versus France. I mean, like Wally said, a lot of people, considering how Spain has played, we want to give it. But there's one thing about France. I mean, when it comes to football at this stage, France is a very, very mysterious team. No matter how they play. In fact, when you check the last 5 tournaments, France, one way or the other, have always been a tough nut to crack. So I know, for me, I see this game as the most difficult the Spanish will come against because there's just something about that team that you just can't explain. Every competition you see them wobble and wobble, before you know it they're in the semi-final, say Jack Robinson, and you see them in the final. Playing back-to-back finals when it comes to the World Cup, which a team hasn't done that in a long while. Then of course when it even comes to the Euros, also, so France has always been a very, very dangerous team, and coming up against Spain, I think Spain will really, really need to be careful.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. If you're looking at the France in the last, let me see, just fast forward, moving backward. In the last 8 years or in the last decade, France has been very consistent. Yeah, they were in the final of Euro 2006 when they hosted 2016 when they lost to Portugal mysteriously lost against Portugal in the final.
2018
in the 2020, it's 4 years.
No, I mean 2016,
2018 they were in the final and they won the World Cup. Yeah. Then in the 2020 Euro in England, where although they couldn't progress well, they couldn't go far. But coming to the last World Cup, again, just like you see, for the first time in the middle, I don't even know if I think Brazil did. Nobody has done it. One qualified for a World Cup back to back. And if you're looking at it, not that they are fantastic, they are the best team in that tournament. They are fantastic team in that tournament. Apart from the Russia 2018, where you can clearly see that they are the best team in that tournament. But looking at these particular competitions, from the way they started, just like the way Wally said earlier. France has only managed to score an open goal far, and that open goal just will come from penalty. Yeah. Every other goal just own goal or by penalty kick, and they final they won't play. I don't know how the Shino, the captain, the Souls have managed to manage that team to all this level.
Exactly.
Just like what you said, like if you're looking at that team, not just on paper, just on field, on by every statistic, every statistic you click, Spain is the favorite to win this tournament. By every tournament, going by anything, they are the best team so far in this tournament. And if you have to predict, you quickly send to your mind and say France will win this, Spain will win this World Cup. But something is telling that Spain may go out tomorrow. You know, they are playing tomorrow on final. That Spain may go out tomorrow against France. France, by standard, France may not be the best team so far, but the way they have managed, if you look at they have the best defense so far.
Highly experienced,
very experienced defense, and even in the midfield. But it's only in the attack that they have come short of expectation so far. So I don't know the Spanish young strikers. They have the young strikers so far in the Spanish forward. They are like that, but they may come up expectation again the most experienced France backline tomorrow, and I will not be surprised if they end their campaign tomorrow against France. Something is telling me that I may likely see France-England final.
All right, well, in second semi-final will be Netherlands versus England. Of course, England too, not too fantastic, but somehow they wobbled and fumbled, and now here they are in the semi-final of Euro 2024, coming up against a Netherlands side who didn't start brilliantly, but in the latter stages are beginning to, play beautiful football and score great goals, coming up against an England side who, have been not too convincing on Wednesday, Wally.
Of course, just before the preview for the England and Netherlands, for France and Spain at this point in time, looking at both teams, like we all have currently said, Spain are destined to win that particular game because Mbappe has not been in this competition, having gone down with that nose injury. He has not been playing well. Of course, we saw the game, the semi-final against Portugal, how he was even removed in that particular game. Of course, when you look at the Spanish team, of course they have depth. The depth squad is just massive. Taking in Pedri, another good player is replacing it, and also they're playing as a team, young side from the attack to the defense. Of course, they have lots of experience. Team, combination of young players and older players as well. At least I've been able to give them that level of balance, in the team, needed in this, particular, competition of such, a magnitude, intense, very, very physical at some point, and also very, very have to be tactical at some point, which the Spanish team has been doing. For them to be able to pull out a last-minute win against Germany with their fans who are, more in the stadium. Of course, it shows you that will definitely get to build, that mentality, going into this semi-final game. Of course, at this particular point, France are coming as the underdog in this particular, game, of course, but it's a competition football. You lose concentration, you can see the goal, and it is all over. So I feel at this point in time, it's going to be cracker, no doubt about it. But on paper, Spain should win, but the pendulum can actually swing if the France team decide to come to the party against the Spain team tomorrow. But of course, the game between England and Netherlands, of course, both teams has been struggling in the competition. Of course, no doubt about it. But I think at this point, Netherlands, picked up, their form in the round of 16. Of course, we saw how they defeated, Romania by 3-0, and of course they scored, some pretty decent goals in the build-up. Talking about the group stage, of course, and looking at their game against the last one against Turkey. Of course, they fight back to win that particular game, and England as well, not been fantastic. They've not had a fantastic run in the Euro so far. Of course, coming back from the dead to draw, against the team where Saka getting to score goal against Switzerland, of course, and at this point in time, just so happy for Bukayo Saka, getting to restore, the hopes and confidence of the English fans after the disappointing performance in the Euro final 2020, where he actually lost the last minute, a penalty to actually assisted Italy of winning that particular title. But at this point in time, is a different ball game. game. Semi-final, of course, is going to be difficult, no doubt about it. But when you look at it, both team on paper at this point in time, you agree with me that England had the better players, no doubt about it, in some departments. And of course, the Netherlands team, of course, have worlds of experience as well as younger players. So it all depends who wants it more at the end of the day. If the English team wants it more at the end of the day, then they will definitely qualify. But if the Netherlands wants it at the end of the day, but they will also definitely qualify. So at this particular time, you can't actually pick which particular team will win this particular game. Of course, at the end of the day, if anything gets to win it, the second team should not feel bad because, of course, they have not been fantastic and have not been terrific at the competition. But it's a competition football. You get to score one goal, you get to defend, and everything you get to qualify and go into the next round. Alpha.
Of course, two matches. Of course, Spain Germany comes up tomorrow, while the other semi-final match will come up on Wednesday. Sorry, France comes up tomorrow, while Netherlands, England will come up the following day. That's on Wednesday. Of course, on Sports Orbit, we will keep an eye on those matches and give you a complete, review and analysis of these matches as they unfold. Well, with that, we call it a day on today's edition of the program. Thank you, Wale, for joining us. Hope you join us more on as we even edge towards the Olympic.
Of course, always a pleasure to be, part of the show and also to be part of the team. Of course, final prediction for me: Spain should win, France are 2-1, and also Netherlands. You should go into penalty kick, but I see England, are going into the final, so it should be Spain and England in the final for me for my predictions.
To be shocked by your Spain, France versus Spain. I believe that I can see that France will definitely kick out Spain. Surprisingly, it will be a shock for everybody. But I see France progress to the final against England.
All right, we'll see about that into this time. Well, but that's where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. Salifu, thank you for being in the studio today once again.
Thank you, Ashu.
Until we come your way, do have a wonderful time. My name is Afa Acho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.